I'll go back to my
Oh, yeah.
That's our signal that we should get started.
You're wrong, man. You just wrong.
Don't be alarmed. What that is there's a system that they have on campus that scares away the turkey vote. So you'll hear that boom every now and then. It scares it away. It's not on campus. So,
It works. It works.
I just want to welcome everyone today. How are my Lincoln Lions doing today?
Tired. We
Very
tired.
productive day so far. Great board of trustees here. We have our chair of the board, Teresa Braswell here. And welcome her. She is one of us, and a lifetime member of our Alumni Association. So today, welcome to the National Alumni Association of Lincoln University 2020 Candidates Forum. I'm Vernon Davis, member of the class of '86. I am the chair of the Nominations and Elections Committee. The Nominations and Elections Committee members include myself, former trustee J. Vernon Peterson, who could not be here today, Gloria Hartwell, who is ill. She was going to be our moderator, but she is not well today, has such a flu. So prayers go out to her for speedy recovery. We have with us Andrew Sproul. Andrew is our member of the committee, and also Marion Terrain is a member of our Nominations and Elections Committee. Today's candidates forum will be moderated by Andrew Sproul, and our question recorder will be Marion Terrain. I'll be your timekeeper for today, so we'll talk about the ground rules in a second. But today we have candidates for the alumni elected trustee position. This is a 4-year term beginning July 1st, 2020. One candidate will be elected, and their name will be presented to the university as our nominee for Lincoln University Board of Trustee member for the term of 2020 to 2024. So our candidates for elected trustee are current trustee Joseph Williams, class of '68. And Michael Hancock, class of 1988. Let's talk a little bit about the ground rules. And before we do that, let's recognize some of the other trustees that are here in the room. We have Robert Allen, who's here. You can stand up. Francis Paul, Reverend Francis Paul. And newly elected trustee Judith Fitzgerald. So Judith is also and Mac Coffin.
I know you love me.
Kenny Poole, another member of welcome.
Yeah, here I am.
To our forum.
Don't make me the invisible man.
I introduced you. Judy, I introduced you.
Yes, you did.
Thank you very much.
That just makes sense.
Good call. So my committee is on top of it. Keep me on top of things. Again, we appreciate you taking time to come out. Let's talk a little bit about the code of conduct and what this is. And it is a forum. It's not a debate. We're all family. We want to treat each other like family. This this is the Lincoln University family, and we all are looking for candidates, and both candidates have Lincoln in our best interest. So, after your initial 3-minute introduction, you'll get 3 minutes to introduce yourself. You'll have a 2-minute question and answer session where each of you will be given the opportunity to answer questions that have been presented from chapters and from alumni members, and we've narrowed it down to really focus on a few areas of interest. What your qualifications are, your stance on what your vision is, things of that nature. So we really want to focus on all these questions and give you an opportunity to answer and present yourself to the body. This will be videotaped, and it will be fed onto our Alumni Association website. Once it's edited, and so it should be up within the next couple of weeks. So there will be questions from the floor. So the process for that is all questions from the floor have to be in writing, and they have to be submitted to Marion Terrain. So we have cards that if you want to ask a question from the floor, Marion will give you a card, and we can take those questions and present them to the candidates. So basic decorum, no interruptions from other candidates or attendees while a person is speaking. Both candidates and the audience members will be civil. Again, the first violation of the 2-minute rule, with the exception of the introduction, you'll inherit a 1-minute penalty on your next question. The second violation, we're going to throw you out the forum. We want to try and relax that. We've got 2 candidates here. We want to be mindful of time, because there are other events that are going on. So the framework will be followed, but we may relax the time constraints to let the candidate complete their thought, their idea, or their statement. Okay? So the introductory remarks will be started by our candidates. We're going to do a coin flip. And current trustee Williams, I'll allow you to say heads or tails, and you'll be allowed to either go first or defer to your opponent. If you defer, you will go second, and you will go second at during the final comments. Okay? Heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails. Okay, it is heads.
Okay.
Mr. Hancock, you may go first or you may defer.
I'm going to defer.
Okay. So, Mr. Williams, you'll go first, but before we do that, I'd like like everyone to welcome our moderator. And he'll lead you through the question and answer portion for our candidates. So let's welcome Andrew Sproul to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. So first reminder, please, everyone put your phones on. Thank you. I'm going to thank my committee member, Mary, for making the fonts on the cards big enough so I don't need a reader, so thank you. So we're going to start with our introduction questions. So candidates, we would like you to take 3 minutes. I want you to introduce yourselves to the audience. We also want you to include responses with the following: examples of your service in a local LU alumni chapter, skill sets you have gained through your experience, and prior experience as a trustee or board member of an organization. Go, first person up.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Williams. I'm a member of the class of 1968 of Lincoln University. When we got on campus in 1964, our motto was, keep on pushing, 6A. That was something that was ingrained in us to basically remember that Lincoln was part of our new life. I have served Lincoln in various capacities. One is that I'm a former president of the Wilmington Alumni Chapter of Lincoln University. I'm also a former national treasurer of the Alumni Association of Lincoln University, and did that for 2 terms. After that, I did 2 terms as president of the Alumni Association finishing up when Niera Sadarkasa was the president of Lincoln University. I have served my community very well. I think I have. I am a former president of the Wilmington chapter of Kappa. I've been Polmar. I've been also a member of the Wilmington Economic Development Corporation, which is a business development corporation which brings businesses to Wilmington, Delaware. I have been involved in the Masons. I've been, as far as I've gone up in rank as far as junior warden. Also, I have been involved in doing Wilmington Economic Corporation, Economic Development Corporation that does business development, which is we help bring businesses to Wilmington. And I'm a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, and I'm a life member of the fraternity. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Hancock?
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael J. Hancock. I am class of 1988 of our beloved University, Lincoln University. I am an active member of the DC Alumni Metro chapters, where I currently serve as the finance chairman for the DC MAC chapter. I am also on the communications committee of the DC MAC chapter. And I currently serve on the finance committee of the national AALU, which was currently put in place this year under the new president. As far as skill sets that I bring to the table, my background is in accounting and finance, where I've been actively involved in that area for the last 31 years. In addition to being a project manager and working in a number of financial projects, as well as information technology projects. And most recently, in the last 6 years, I've served in the capacity of risk management and compliance, which I think will be critical assets as a member of the Board of Trustees, being able to work on a number of projects and initiatives that are currently going on. In the community aspect, I too am a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, a life member, and I have served in the role of Polmark, which is the president at a number of alumni chapters. And most recently, I'm the immediate past president of the Kappa Foundation of Fort Washington, which has a mission of raising money to support various activities, both health initiatives, scholarships for students in a local area, and also looking at a number of activities to help out our development. In addition to that, I worked at both Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, where I've been involved in a number of home initiatives for underprivileged people, trying to get them into various properties, whether they are rental properties, whether they are staying in a multi-family dwelling, or to actually purchase a home. And so with that type of experience, I think that I will be able to bring some additional project management skills to the Board of Trustees.
Thank you, gentlemen. We're now going to move to our 2-minute questions. What we're going to ask you to do is, the mics in front of you are on, so we're going to ask you that you utilize those so that you can enunciate loud enough. First question. Mr. Williams, why should alumni elect you to Lincoln University Board of Trustees?
Well, because I believe in Lincoln's sustainability. We are the oldest historically black college. We also are a leading institution in this area. I believe in student success. We have a program here at Lincoln which basically talks about student success. When you send a child off to college, you want him or her to graduate. Lincoln has a program here to basically make that happen. I, as trustee, am chairman of the Student Affairs Committee, and that's under my reporting to the board. So I'm very excited about that. The other thing is that we want to basically engage alumni to come back and tell their story. Alumni here are the reason why Lincoln's education is so valuable. Our alumni go out and make changes in the world, make it possible for Lincoln students to have internships, to have possible openings in different fields of endeavor. The other thing is that we also have a board of trustees that basically make sure that Lincoln has sustainability. We have $45 million in endowment, which is kind of high for a historically black college. So I think we, as board members, have basically been true to making sure Lincoln is around.
Thank you. Mr. Hancock, same question. Elijah alumni, I'd like you for the Lincoln University Board of Trustees.
As an alum, it is imperative that we have some format of giving back, whether that is volunteer service back to our institution, whether that is some format of financial giving, or whether that is rolling your sleeves up and getting the work done. I believe that my prior experience in the workforce and working with the DC MAC Alumni Association is a reason why people would look at me and say, here's somebody that is committed to Lincoln University. He's committed and he's dedicated. But in addition to that, he rolls up his sleeves and he has execution. And so execution is most important that I believe in this role of trustee. So I think that my dedication, my hard work is the reason why the execution that I could give back to the Board of Trustees.
Thank you. Question number 2. What type of support have you given Lincoln University?
Wow, well, I am committed to being a hands-on trustee. I come to Lincoln at least 6 or 7 times a semester to support programs here. One of the things that Lincoln offers our students is increasing opportunity. There is a initiative right now where we are basically starting to help build the Thurgood Marshall Pre-Law Society, where we're basically turning around and say to students, you want to come become a lawyer? We're going to help. We're going to give you extra courses, teach you new ways of arguing. The other part is that I have become involved with fundraising for Lincoln. I come to Lincoln giving money for everything. In fact, I just helped supply money for an alumnus who died, who didn't have any insurance, and we paid for his funeral and the whole bit. So yes, Lincoln is important to me, and that's why I think I am a good candidate for the Alumni Trustee.
Thank you. Mr. Hancock, what type of support have you given Lincoln?
So as far as support is concerned,
Yes.
Take that one.
as far as support is concerned, I have done some financial support to the university in as much as I can. In addition to, I participate in supporting our athletics by going to various games, getting others to come to games as well. I also have my child actually participating in the Lincoln basketball program that takes place each summer. So this would be his 3rd summer actually coming to Lincoln. In addition to, I have recruited a number of students to come to Lincoln University. So as a part of my personal mentorship, I've had students that have actually come here that have graduated, and now they're returning the favor, going out and recruiting other students to come to the first historically black college and university. So that's the type of support that I've actually done and continue to do.
Thank you. Mr. Williams, what are the three most important qualifications needed to serve on the Board of Trustees?
Number one, to be dedicated to Lincoln University with your time, your talent, and your treasure. You have to basically say that this is my university. This is the school that made it possible for me to make the kind of income I'm making now. I know that I have made a commitment to make sure that Lincoln is always included in whatever I do. I have been fortunate to meet alumni who basically make me a better person because they know what I'm doing as far as Lincoln is concerned. So yes, I can tell you that I would love to tell you that Lincoln is in me, and it brought me from a long way from West Philadelphia to Wilmington, and I've been fortunate to have the inspiration of fellow Lincoln students.
What are the three most important qualifications needed to serve on the Board of Trustees?
I think the three most important qualifications to serve in this role are analytical skills. And I say that because there are a number of projects that are actually taking place today that are going on in the board that require for you to have critical thinking and analytical skills. I also believe that project management skills are very critical because it's managing your personal time, your work professional time, and time served with the board, because you will be required to work on a number of committees. So you've got to have really good project management skills as well. And then the third skill that I believe that you need to have is that you've got to be a people person that knows how to work, intertwine with all types of personalities. So it's critical to have analytical, which are critical thinking skills, project management skills, and just overall organizational behavioral skills.
Thank you. We're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to move on to vision. What will be your top priority if elected to the board?
If I'm elected to the board, one of the first things that Lincoln needs 300 beds on campus to expand, to accommodate what we have now as enrollment. We need to have a place to grow. We also need to be mindful of new courses that make Lincoln attractive to potential students. The kids that are in 9th grade right now are the ones we need to attract. We need to basically make Lincoln the place that they want to come to. The third thing I think we need to do is make sure that we have the right faculty and leadership people in place. That makes Lincoln a place where people want to come. And I think that we have done that well. And one of the things I would share with you, we have had a leadership with Teresa to make the deficits go away, to basically grow the endowment. And I will tell you that Lincoln is on the right path.
What will be your top priority if elected to the board?
I believe that my top priority, if elected to the board, is to work diligently with the board on the number of programs that they currently have. I can tell you that I would love to be able to join and to help them design a plan of development to utilize more of our land to build new dormitories for our students. The fact that some of our students had to go and stay in Delaware for a period of time because we didn't have any room for them. And we have all of this beautiful land. We've got to come up with a great development plan to build more housing on our university land. So that would be my first priority, to look at that vision and to be a part of that development space for the Board of Trustees.
Thank you. We're going to move on to stakeholders. The next two questions, final two questions we have prepared, are going to be more stakeholder oriented. What do you think is the Alumni Trustee's role in relation to the Alumni Association?
I think the Alumni Trustee's role is to basically bring the information back to the Alumni Association, so they're saying that what Lincoln is doing, to make Lincoln a place where alumni feel very proud and want to give back to. The other thing is that we can do as Alumni Trustee is turn around and make the new programs available to trustees so that they know that they can be recruiters for Lincoln. They can turn around and tell our story. Our biggest problem, we're not known. We're a good school, but we're not known nationally. So I think that if we turn around and push the Alumni Association and basically get alumni involved in doing what they need to do, then that's what we need to do.
What do you think is the Alumni Trustee's role in relation to the Alumni Association?
I believe this vital role is to, one, work with my fellow trustees, and secondary is to provide information back to the Alumni Association. What are we working on? What are those key projects? And what are those things that, as alumni, we need to do to increase our stakeholdership with our fellow alumni? So I think serving in this role, we need to reach back, tell the story, tell what the trustee board is actually doing, whether that is quarterly, whether that's twice a year. And we also need to reach out to our fellow alumni to get them engaged back in the Alumni Association.
Final question. As an alumni elected trustee, how will you communicate the needs of the Alumni Association to the board?
There are several, well, majority of the board is alumni. They basically want to know what's going on with the Alumni Association. 6 of us are elected every quarter, every 4 years, to be alumni trustees. Today, I'm being seeking to be elected for another 4 years. We bring the voice of the alumni to the trustee board, and then we can turn around and tell you what's going on. There's some things we can't tell you because it's personnel issues, and that's something you got to be very, very cognizant. Our allegiance must be to the trustee board because we are the now custodians of Lincoln University. But we have a mission to make Lincoln a viable place, a place you want to be proud of. I think we as trustees we have to make a decision about where we want to be and make sure Lincoln sustains itself.
As an alumni elected trustee, how will you communicate the needs of the Alumni Association to the board?
So I'm working with the Alumni Association and finding out what those needs are, documenting those needs, and then addressing them or asking during the appropriate time period of the Board of Trustees, providing them information, both written and oral, that here's some suggestions or requests from the Alumni Association. So reaching out to and working with my colleagues to say, here's some needs or requests from the Alumni Association back to Madam Chair or the appropriate person. Like I said, both orally and written, providing them the information that the Alumni Association has requested to be provided to the board.
Thank you. That concludes the segment of our prepared questions. Excuse me. Do we have any questions from the floor?
Do you need a card? Do you need a card?
Yes. Give it about another minute.
Hi, welcome everybody. I'll step up here to fill in some time. I'm Dawn Florzard. I think I know everybody here. I am the National AALU President, so I welcome you. I am very happy to see everyone here for our forum. Thank you, Mike and Joe, for being willing to step into the void. And I use that term a lot because in the 8 months as president, it is often a challenge getting people to step up. People have a lot of opinions and a lot of passion about linking, but when it's time to do the work, it's kind of like, well, you know, just take this idea and run with it. And as we know, it takes a lot of guidance. So I'm really excited that we have people running, because that means we know that this is an important role. The Board of Trustees is not just, it's not a club. This is essentially the body that helps run Lincoln University. So it doesn't matter. I imagine that the Alumni Trustees come from a long history of before our students, our alumni had a true voice at the university. So this was our guarantee that our voice would be heard as alumni. And now here in 2020, we have many alumni voices on our Board of Trustees. Our leadership, our chairperson is an alum. We have our alumni trustees who all head committees. And we have a number of appointed trustees for alumni as well. So we've come a long way, but this is still one of the more critical offices that we have. So I appreciate everyone being here. I know that some of you have been here since Thursday. So you're tired. We have a council meeting afterwards. We do have food, so please have something to eat. So we see it in the treasurer's report at the end of the year. You won't say, where did that money come from? And really just not just here to figure out who the next person on the board will be, but maybe an opportunity for you to take a look inside yourself and see if this is some place or a role you'd like to play for Lincoln University and what it'll take. And you have the pleasure of having a number of alumni trustees here that you can talk to now, gain some insight. If you know of any other alumni who may be a good fit, you say, you know, this person would really be a good fit on our board. We will have upcoming elections again. Please talk to them and help us fill that pipeline. And you can do that by talking to Bernie. So thank you again.
That's crazy, right?
Okay, so we have 4 questions from the floor. First question. What 3 committees do you envision your skills might be best used, and what is the likely impact and measure of success? Sure. Yep. No problem.
I think I'm good. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. I think that I'm best skilled for helping student affairs. I enjoy coming in, interacting with the students here. I think we have one of the better programs as far as student success. I think the other committee I like to be on is the Building and Property Committee. We need to expand our footprint. We need to get a dorm for at least 300 students to bring them back on campus. The part that I like about the student success is that we're talking about taking a student who may have never ever talked about college, coming up to Lincoln and becoming successful, learning new skills, learning study skills, and turning around and becoming a leader in this community. The other organization or committee I like to be on is the Educational Policy Committee, making sure we are right as far as offering courses here to make Lincoln the place you want to come because they offer the right programs for you for the future. I don't know.
What 3 committees do you envision your skills might best be used, and what is the likely impact and measure of success?
The first committee I think that my skill set would be utilized for is the Audit and Finance Committee. Being a professional financial services person with the last 31 years, so audit and finance are critical skill sets that I think are needed on that committee. The second would be policies and procedures. Having worked in compliance, ensuring that our policies and procedures are up to date and that they are things that will be adaptable for the university. And the third would be the development committee to ensure that we are building and we are building solid foundations so that our students will have somewhere to stay, and that's most important. So those would be the things that I like to run.
Thank you. What tools does Lincoln need to assist it to move forward?
What tools? Lincoln has this distinction, like most HBCUs, they're not known. We basically need to increase our footprint and basically make ourselves well known in America. The other part is that Lincoln needs finance. We need to basically have a fundraising where we basically start. We're Lincoln. We're here, and we're bad and we're good, and so we need to really have the alumni raise at least $5 to $10 million a year to say this is the Lincoln versus you want to be a part of it. The last thing I would tell you that Lincoln needs to do is basically say, hey, faculty, administrators, this is the place you want to work at. This is because we have the student body that's making changes and making things possible and making changing in the world.
What tools does Lincoln need to assist it in its move forward?
The first tool that I believe that Lincoln needs is an infusion of cash flow, and an infusion of cash flow from our Alumni Association. Alumni giving would be wonderful. So if we increase our alumni giving, then that will increase the cash flow for Lincoln. The secondary thing would be to go after additional grants that are out there. There are so many grants out there that we as an institution could go and capture, which would also help us with our infusion of cash flow. So the tool is cash. The mechanism for raising that cash is around alumni giving and also grants.
Okay, thank you. So many to pick from. What are the primary responsibilities of a trustee within the context of university governance? What are the primary responsibilities of a trustee within the context of university governance?
First, we are trustees of an educational institution that we were students of. That's Alumni Trustee. But the university itself is a institution that we have to support because we know that there are future students behind us. We know that there are people who send their children off to school to basically become better citizens. So I would tell you that the basic principle of being an alumni trustee, that you must be a good student, a steadfast person who supports the university and can make it possible for those students to graduate.
What are the primary responsibilities of a trustee within the context of university governance?
A trustee is engaged to do the business at hand of Lincoln University, to work on those projects that have been identified by the university, that have been identified by the state of Pennsylvania, to ensure that the educational roles and responsibilities are being carried out. And the trustee's role is to work on those various projects to ensure that that is included.
Should board members give or raise a minimum donation? If so, how much?
No, I don't think that you can put you can't speak for somebody else's pocketbook as far as, but trustees should be leaders in giving, should be basically setting the tone, and to turn around and ask their classmates, their fellow alumni, to give to Lincoln University. I think that we as trustees have to be set an example of giving. Also, there's another way of giving. You can go basically volunteer your time. You can go do fundraisers. You can be part of the Alumni Association as they help other students get scholarship. That's where I think we as alumni trustees can basically help Lincoln University be a better institution.
Should board members give or raise a minimum donation? If so, how much?
So my thought process is that if established by the board that there is a minimum, then you need to either give that minimum or raise that minimum. As it stands today, do think that you can either give or raise, and in raising that is a number of fundraisers that you can actually do.
Thank you. If elected, what will you do differently than what's been done to date?
Well, one of the things that I've thought about, what I would do different, I would look into the possibility of having trustee meetings televised. Thought about basically providing some kind of feedback from the Alumni Association to the trustee board, where we basically interact with the trustees, alumni trustees. The other part is that I think also the trustee have a obligation to turn around and be more involved in the ongoing of the Alumni Association. In other words, I'm saying, go to meetings, go to events. I know I do. I remember being up on the Cape, and Donald Notice, the former trustee, basically invited all the Lincoln students up there to come, and he had a cookout, basically to raise money for Lincoln. And that's one of the ways I think we can do to help Lincoln.
If elected, what will you do differently than what's been done to date?
So if elected as a trustee, I would look for more engagement from the trustees and that raising of the bar to get more people, alumni, engaged in the Alumni Association. There are so many of us out there, and we tout that we love LU. But when we look around the room, it's just a small number of us. It's a small subset of the whole. So I think more engagement. I do it every day. I know that we do it in DC Mac. We reach out and touch one and try to bring another. So I think that from a global standpoint, that would be my role.
This is a two-part question. Are both of you gentlemen life members of AALU? If not, why? If so, have you recruited others to become life members?
I became a life member of the Alumni Association in 1979, and I'm been very active in my chapter in Wilmington, Delaware.
So no, I am not a life member of the AALU. However, I do pay my dues annually, and I do recruit people.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Williams, this one is specifically for you.
Okay.
You have now served for 4 years.
Mhm.
What have you personally contributed in these years? And the second part, what does a normal day, month, year look like for a member on the Board of Trustees?
One of the things that I think as a trustee, I have been involved with the student success program. I have been up on campus, watched the development of that program. We basically provide student success in areas of counseling. We basically offer housing, even security. I mean, just watching Mr. Partee make sure that our students are safe. I have watched the development of psychiatry on campus. I mean, we never had thought about that. The other thing is that as a trustee, I have also helped develop I guess a student success in make sure that we have deans to watch over our students. We also have a male mentoring program. I mean, this is important. The number of males that are Lincoln are less than 1/3 of the population. I'm part of that program to basically make sure that we, also the other part is that I've basically been very active in trying to make sure that we bring different points of view, where we have brings alumni up on campus, and I've done that on a regular basis.
That concludes our question and answer period.
Wow.
So now we're going to move on to our final comments. Each of you will have 2 minutes to present yourself once again. And so, as Mr. Hancock referred, Mr. Williams, you go first.
Wait, you can start off first.
I do? Okay, I'm mistaken.
Okay.
Again, I'm Michael J. Hancock, class of 1988, and I'm seeking this role of Board of Trustee. Why? Because I am dedicated. There is an execution portion of my life that I work hard at, and I just believe in the ideals of this great institution. So I'm giving back, and I'm giving back full force, and I solicit your vote.
Okay. I am alumni trustee, and my reason for being a trustee is that I believe in Lincoln. Lincoln took me out of the gutter of Philadelphia and basically put me on the road to success. I am been surrounded by Lincoln alumni who basically made it possible for me to become involved in many organizations, such as Masonic organizations, Homeschool Association, WECO boards, Wilmington Economic Board. Also, I don't mind giving up my time or treasure or talent to help Lincoln. The part that I will say to anybody that's considering voting for me, that my goal is for Lincoln. I give my time, my treasure, and talent, and that's all I can tell you. That's
Okay,
it.
thank you both for your participation. We thank everybody for the questions from the floor and for your participation.
All right, let's thank our moderator, Bruce Brewer, for the questions, and also our candidates, Joe Williams and Michael Hancock. Again, we would like to thank you all for participating, and also there's food in the back of the room if you would like to partake in that. Our election is on May 2nd, 2020. You'll be receiving ballots. We'll be discussing that whole process at our council meeting. And so if you want to get a better understanding of how that process will work, come to the council meeting, and we will give you some additional information on how the whole election process will work. But again, thank you all, and enjoy your day. And we appreciate you participating. And hail, hail, Lincoln!
Hail, hail.
Alumni Council, the meeting starts promptly at 3:30. Please be ready. Thank you. And we're in the Living Learning Center.
The Wellness Center.
Not the
The Wellness Center.
Wellness Center.
Yeah.